Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NASCAR Cup Series, Iowa Corn 350, first ever Cup race at Iowa Speedway. They're in Newton, Iowa. 306.25 miles, 350 laps, 3 stages, 70, 140, 140. Fuel window 100 to 110 laps, 10 sets of tires. Now, 110 laps on the tank of fuel. As we've seen the last couple weeks, Ryan Blaney ran out with a lap to go. Truex ran out the last corner at Sonoma. I would ease on the side of caution with that. You may not be getting the fuel mileage you think you're going to get. So, you know, if you think it's a crew chief, you split the second and third stage in half. Maybe you split the first stage in half to kind of check out tire wear. We did see some tire wear in Xfinity Series. I haven't really been on social media for a couple days. So I don't know what the community out there is saying about the Xfinity race. I'm going to say it wasn't a tire issue. I think there was an issue. And here's why I say that. If you look at what happened in Bristol, we had Cordy. If you look at what happened in Indy several years ago, that was a tire issue. And the fact that not everyone was having the issue, you really can't point to the tires. Because if it was a tire manufacturer issue, everyone across the board would have trouble. John Hunter went 70 laps on a set of tires in that first stage, while everyone else split it in half and had tire wear, had some wear, some bubbling, some blistering, but some of the Toyotas did not. We know, lap 31, I think it was, AJ Allmendinger blew a right front tire into the wall. Everybody pitted except for John Hunter, Ryan Sieg, and there was the third one. And they stayed out till the end of the stage. So you couldn't do that if there was a tire issue. So I don't know what's being said, but that's just my opinion on it. I think with the Cup car, they brought the North Wilkesboro tire because of the repave, but because the repaving the corners only, not the whole track, I think we're going to see some differences here. Now, if you're new to Iowa Speedway and Richmond are pretty similar tracks. A lot of people comparing it to Phoenix as well. So Iowa is 0.875 miles. Turns are banked at 12 and 14 degrees. Front stretch is 10. Back is 4 degrees back stretch. Richmond, which a lot of people are comparing it to, is 0.75 miles. So Iowa's a little longer. The turns are banked at 14 degrees. The front stretch is banked at 8. Back stretch at 2. So pretty similar to what Richmond is banked and everything. Now, I've personally been to Worldwide Technology. A lot of people compare it to Richmond as well, and kind of that short track mentality. It's 1.25 miles. It has 11 degree banking in turn 1 and 2, which I actually walked down. And if 11 is that steep, I don't want to see what 35 is, because it was hard to walk down through. Because we walked across the track there. I'm like, okay, all right. So again, a lot of people are comparing it to the Richmond, New Hampshire, Phoenix, kind of that Richmond S track. On the site that I use, they do similar tracks. They got Richmond as New Hampshire and Phoenix as well. So we're going to kind of throw Iowa into that lump for now. So if we look at the 12 races on those 3 tracks, Richmond, New Hampshire, Phoenix, Denny Hamlin, 8.66 average finish, 2 wins. Mark Truex, 9.83 with a win. Kyle Larson, 10.25 in a win. Ryan Blaney, 10.91. Joey Logano, 11.16 in a win. Chris Buescher, 11.91. Chase Briscoe, 12.08 in a win. Ross Chastain, 12.16 in a win. Christopher Bell, 12.25 in 2 wins. William Byron, 12.33 in a win. If you look at just Richmond, the 5 races in the next gen car, Denny Hamlin, 5.66 and 2 wins. Martin Truex Jr., 6.66. We know his big news this week. He announced he's retiring from full-time competition. Obviously leaving the door open for some sporadic Cup races, which we know if 2311, if Legacy Motor Club neither get a third charter, he can run an open car for them. Because the rule is max of 4. The new charter agreement is talked about 3 as the max, which, okay, fine. Gibbs and Hendrick would be grandfathered in, so, or he can run an Xfinity car for coach. The fact that Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shop was at the press conference on a Friday afternoon, the 21-year relationship they've had with Martin, I love the fact that, I love how Coach was saying that anytime he's looking for Martin, he finds him in a deer blind somewhere with Johnny Morris. It's like, hey, that's kind of cool, live that lifestyle. I know there's a lot of speculation on who's going to replace Martin Truex Jr. A lot of people are saying Chase Briscoe. Heard from Noah Gragson because of the Bass Pro sponsorship. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't look in-house. Chandler Smith. Here's why. He had 2 years in truck, finished top 10 in points. 1 race this season. This is his second full year in Xfinity. He's won races both years. William Byron, 1 year in truck, 1 year in Xfinity, went to Cup. He did struggle first at Cup, but look at he is now. I think Chandler Smith would fit that kind of young driver mentality that coach is after right now. Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs. If you add him in there with Denny Hamlin, we know Denny's not a few years, but he's 43, so he's a few years away probably from retiring. I probably see him going to 2311 before he retires. But what if 2311 gets the charter, Denny moves back to 2311, Joe Gibbs goes back to 3 cars with Chandler Smith, Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell. Possibility, you never know. But so 5 races at Richmond, Joey Logano 7.2, average finish, Christopher Bell 7.6, Kyle Larson 8.4 and a win, Chase Elliott 9.25, Brad Keselowski 10.4. Now these are the 5 Gen 7 races in Richmond. Kyle Busch 11.0, Chris Buescher 11.6 and a win, William Byron 13.2. Now just those 5 Richmond races, average running position, Denny Hamlin 6.79, Martin Truex Jr. 7.44, Joey Logano 8.31, Kyle Larson 8.46, Chase Elliott 9.61, William Byron 9.82, Brad Keselowski 10.17, Christopher Bell 11.60, Ross Chastain 11.99, Kyle Larson 12.02. Now I kind of drilled down a little bit on that. I looked at the last 3 races at Richmond, so the 2 last year, the 1 this year, kind of more current. So they're going back all the way back to 2022. Again, we have some of the similar guys at the top. Denny Hamlin, 7.3 average running position. Martin Truex, 7.75. Kyle Larson, 8.46. Brad Keselowski, 9.04. Bubba Wallace, 9.29. Chase Elliott, 9.68. Joey Logano, 9.72. We do know that Joey Logano has a knack for winning the first races at places. He won the first Bristol Dirt. He won the first Clash at the Coliseum. He won the first race at Worldwide Technology. So, and if you look at that, the second race at Worldwide Technology last year was won by Kyle Busch. The second Bristol Dirt race was won by Kyle Busch. So it's like Joey has the knack of the first time at the track. Kyle has the knack the second time at the track sometimes. William Byron, average running position 10.11, Alex Bowman 11.1, and Tyler Reddick 12.24. Now those are the stats that I used to build my NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup. Let's run through the points first, then we'll get to the picks and the NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup. 10 races left in the regular season, 16 of 26 down, 20 races left to go in the season, so we have 10 race push to make the playoffs, and then 10 races in the playoffs. So right now, Kyle Larson leading the way with 3 wins. Chase Elliott with 1 win, minus 14 to Larson, which that means is that regular season championship, which gets you 15 bonus points on top of whatever wins you have. So it's equivalent to 3 wins if you can win the regular season title. So if Chase Elliott can make those 14 points up and only has 1 win going to the playoffs, adding that 15 bonus points and taking away from his teammate, mind you, would go a long way. Yes, Kyle Larson is leading the points by 14 points over Elliott and missed Charlotte as well. So we know he's had a spectacular season. He's only had 2 finishes outside the top 30. He's only had 4 finishes outside the top 20. So yes, Kyle Larson is having a great season. 3 wins on the season at Vegas, Kansas, and Sonoma. We know how well he can run at some of these tracks. Texas, Talladega, both in 21st, Atlanta and Darlington in the 30s. He's not had that much bad luck. Is it coming? Maybe. But look at his teammate. His teammate's been top 20 every race. Top 15 in every race but 1. He finished 19th at Phoenix. So he's had a spectacular season as well. Denny Hamlin, 3rd place in points with 3 wins, minus 26 from that regular season title. He's had bad luck. He's had the 37th at Talladega, 38th at Sonoma, blew up on lap 2. Since Dover, I made a point on Sunday to wear my Denny Hamlin shirt. Since Dover, He's had a first, a fifth, a fourth, a fifth, a second, and it's second at the All-Star race. Then he blew up on lap 2 last week. So I'm not blaming the shirt. I'm wearing the shirt again for good luck for him. Became a Denny Hamlin fan at Bristol last year. When I beat your favorite driver, all of them, and that's why I had to have the shirt. So we're wearing the shirt for good luck. See if we can bring back that Dover good luck or any of the top 5s he's had since then. Tyler Reddick is 4th with a win, minus 49 to the regular season championship. And then we have William Byron with 3 wins, Brad Keselowski with 1 win, Christopher Bell 2 wins, Austin Cindric and Daniel Suarez each with 1 win. So 9 regular season winners through 16 races. 10 races left, 7 playoff positions. I mean, technically, math-wise, we could get to 16 different winners this year. Martin Truex Jr. is sitting overall 5th in points, no wins, plus 128. So if he just maintains, he can get his way into the playoffs. The problem is 3 of the last 4 races, 25th or worse. We know what happened to Sonoma. He ran out of gas. But still, the books say he finished 27th. 34th at Gateway, 25th at Darlington, 12th at the 600 during that. Before that, he had the lowest position was 18th, and then there's only a race outside the top 15 until he's 3 of the last 4. So he's kind of fallen there, but he can still bring that back. Ty Gibbs plus 86, Ross Chastain plus 73, both capable of winning, same as Martin. Alex Bowman, really long losing streak, plus 65. Ryan Blaney, the defending champion, plus 64. Chris Buescher, plus 32. And then Bubba Wallace, the 16th, plus 8. Everybody but Ty Gibbs has won in NASCAR's Top Series. Ty Gibbs, a former Xfinity Series champion, 17th in points. 2-time Cup Series champion, Kyle Busch, minus 8. 2-time Cup Series champion, Joey Logano, minus 16. We know both of those guys can win. They're on winning equipment. They just gotta not have bad luck. I mean, if you look at Kyle, he had 3 straight 22nd or worse finishes earlier in the season. He had a 35th at Gateway, 27th at Darlington. That's a season killer right there. Joey Logano, he's had 2 top 5s at this point after 16 races. Who would have guessed that ever for Joey? Who would have ever thought Austin Cindric would have been the first Penske Ford to win in this year? Michael McDowell's 20th, minus 93. Or Chase Briscoe's 19th, minus 27. We know he's driving for a ride next year. We know there's several rumors for him. One is Wood Brothers. One is Front Row because they got 2 open spots. One is I've heard him associated with Joe Gibbs. So let the silly season begin. We know it's already started with Michael McDowell announcing going to Spire. We know Zane Smith is out of that 71 next year. Where does he land? And know he's part of Trackhouse. We know SVG is part of Trackhouse. I think SVG needs another full year in Xfinity. Great place for him to stay is at Colic. Colic has that 16 car they can rotate drivers with. And then Todd Gilliland, also Front Row, is 21st in points, minus 101. So we have a lot of points to be made up this year, and a lot can happen in the next 10 races. For the NASCAR Fantasy Live lineup, you're allowed to use each driver 10 times in the first 26 races. 10 races left. I'm going to run into some load management issues here. I got Denny Hamlin, 3 races left. I'm using him. Kyle Larson, 4 races left. I'm using him. Martin Truex Jr., 6 races left. Joey Logano, I got 7 races. I'm using him. Brad Keselowski, I got 5. In my garage, I got Tyler Reddick, who got 4 races left. The good news is, when we get to Chicago Street Course, I'm not using these guys. May not use these guys at Pocono and or Daytona. So, yeah, I'm going to run out of starts for Denny Hamlin. I got to save the Richmond start for him. I'm going to save the Indy start because he did do the tire test there. And I noticed that too. Some of these tire tests, those drivers are getting a little, I don't say advantage, but they are kind of understanding the track better. Remember, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and I can't remember who the Ford representative was for the tire test at Iowa. So Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell both did the tire test. That's why you saw practice. You saw Christopher Bell hang back because he knew that track was changing. We've learned that with practice and qualifying, this track changed so drastically. The first to go out were slower than the rest to go out. And I think you could have flipped the order and you would have had the same kind of deal. The later guys would have been faster because once rubber gets laid down because it was a green track because of the rain, now we got rubber on the track from yesterday. as long as it didn't rain overnight. So that could make a difference. On those head-to-head on NASCAR Fantasy Live, Larson, Hamlin, I'm taking Hamlin. Byron, Truex, taking Truex. Blaney, Logano, I'm taking Logano. Elliott, Bell, I'm taking Bell. My 4 picks to win, like I pick every week. So I'm 7-5 in the Truck Series. Now 11-4 in Xfinity because I didn't get Sam Mayer yesterday. 5-11 in the Cup Series. So the 4 picks are going to be Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson. I got to go with him. Mr. First Time of the Track winner, Joey Logano, and then Tyler Reddick. So that is the Iowa Corn 350 NASCAR Cup Series first race at Iowa. Now, something I know it has nothing to do with it, but I think it's kind of cool. Kelly Crandall actually talked about this one time on TMD about fantasy booking NASCAR schedule. She'll go through and kind of do a schedule, what she would think. And I've done several of those over the years. And every one of them had Iowa on there. Iowa made the schedule. Every one of them had go back to the Oval and Indy. It's on there. I had both. I had a road course and the Indy, but anyway. I also had Milwaukee on there. And the Truck Series goes back to Milwaukee last year. So I think it's kind of cool when I do those and stuff shows up. So hopefully the future one is Streets of Long Beach. We need the Southern California race. And there you go. We'll see what happens in April. And right now the schedule for 2025, April 13th, which is the weekend that Indy and IMSA is at the Streets of Long Beach. NASCAR has not announced a race yet. The following week is Easter. You just never know. Anyway, that is the Iowa Corn 350. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.